little early untranslatable for you. All right, let's get into this intro.
For some reason, I don't believe you, but go ahead.
Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable podcast. We are here today to talk about some different types of intelligence. You know, you may be wondering, am I intelligent? I don't always feel so intelligent. Well, lucky for you, there are, depending on who you ask, there's 9, there's 12, there's all sorts of different numbers of intelligence. So we're going to talk about some different types of intelligence today. I'm also hoping to find out what types of intelligence my co-host and I might have, and it's going to be a fun episode today, so stay tuned if you want to learn some different types of intelligence, and of course, get some tried and true untranslatables as well. So I could not do this without my good buddy and my co-host, Jared. What's going on, Jared?
What better way to start this episode than telling you that you're right, Chad? We see, I don't even know how to say it. We see beta, water of life. That's literally how you say whiskey is we see beta. So you're right.
See?
You're right.
Starting off the pot on a good note. What can I say?
Yeah,
whiskey is the water of life,
and
Jared.
Why should I question you? Because you're very linguistically, intelligent. So of course you would know something like that. And of course I should just stand down like the or face looking like a fool. Those were my only two options in a situation like that.
You tend to shine during the untranslatables, though, buddy. So I'm not always so sure about that. You've got some linguistic talents as well, my friend.
My intelligence should be knowing my limits. That's what it should be. You know?
Well, I think that's a good way to stay humble, without a doubt.
Yeah. I have a question for you. I want to ask you this. This came across my Twitter, and it got me thinking, about my life. And I was like, I wonder what Chad, what his answer would be. Delta tweeted this. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're an airline. They have a bunch of airplanes that fly from place to place. Occasionally, some drunkards
Just here and there
get a little unruly. Normal flight stuff.
Just some duct tape.
Yeah, not on Delta. That's low cost shit. Delta people aren't duct taping passengers. Just
they have zip ties.
No, those.
Is that better or worse than duct tape?
Zip ties are definitely better. Granted, that you can't shut them up with zip ties, though.
That's true.
No, they have air marshals fly on Delta. That's why.
Okay.
You don't know. That's why low cost airlines are so cheap. They
don't have air marshals.
No air marshals. They're just like, listen.
Are you serious?
You can fly, but we are not going. Like, you have to pay for this sort of. You didn't know that? Of course, dude. You got to pay for everything. You got to pay for air marshals to patrol your plane.
The money does make the world go round.
Low-cost airlines, that's one of the common places. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying some of them certainly say, we don't need that. That's fine.
Do they do air marshals in Europe, or is that just an American thing?
I don't know, dude. I made all of that up. I have no idea. Name a city that changed your life. That's what Delta tweeted.
Name a city that changed your life. Well, in what way? I can think of so many. That's why I'm asking. I don't know. I mean,
what in the way that was the most beneficial to you, or not most beneficial, I should say, the most impactful to you?
Maybe Vienna or the Czech Republic. I'm not sure.
That's a great city. That's a beautiful city.
Well,
the Czech Republic.
Vienna or Prague. Prague. Sorry. Well, actually, technically, Jared, no, that's not even true. It really is Chomutov. That's where I lived.
Yeah, I mean, you spent a lot of time in Prague.
That's true, but a lot of time in Chomutov as well.
Of course, that's where you lived.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's fair. I meant, of course you did. I know you did.
I got you.
But I'm saying it's not disingenuous to say Prague is what I'm saying.
Right. True. Yeah. What about you, though, Jared? You've been to a lot of cities.
How'd you make your decisions? How'd you make your choices?
Well,
it's very good, though. You are learning to ask.
That's
reciprocate
trying to be more reciprocated.
That's very good. But I want to first figure out how you made that decision.
That quickly?
Yeah, no, you're not even that quickly. You said 3 different cities.
Right. Well, Vienna, just because, that was where I studied abroad for a year. Just the guitar lessons alone, dude, were...
In Vienna?
Yeah, we're just on another level with my teacher working there. So shout out to Armin Egger. That's number one. Also, I don't know, man, like my level of German improved a lot. Mm-hmm. It was great to be just immersed in, a German-speaking country. Picking up, a little bit of Wienerisch along the way is pretty cool, too. Did I ever tell you, though, what... I don't remember now if it was Perry or Susanna, but one of them told me that I had to kind of minimize like my Austrian accent when I was, you have to speak a little bit more Hochdeutsch or like proper German when I was working as a TA.
Oh. You were having too much fun with it. I could definitely see that. It's kind of like when people come back from studying abroad and they have like an Australian or English accent now.
Right.
And it's like, all right, you were in Melbourne for 6 months, relax. Like, first of all, it's Melbourne. And it's like, all right, asshole.
Right. Melbourne.
But yeah, that's kind of like you, but on a much nicher level.
Yeah, for sure. It's Austria, not Australia, mate. That's the difference.
So that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense.
I came back to the United States, Jared, and then I just had that would be terrible.
I think also, I'm guessing Vienna was sort of the first time when you truly lived on your own for a bit, or what felt like it. Obviously there were a lot of safety nets, but what felt like just like free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. I wish I could have lived in Vienna longer. Mm. Just because there's so much cool stuff to do. The food's amazing.
That's a place that I could probably live there for the rest of my life. I think I could do that.
For sure.
I could do that.
I mean, it's won like the most livable city award a bunch of times, hasn't it?
Yeah, the list don't lie. If the list tells me it's a good place to live,
dude,
I'm going to live there.
Tap water. That tap water alone, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. I remember when we were doing like the orientation up in the woods or whatever. Yep. I don't remember what city that was. Was that Mariette-Cell?
Genau. Exactly.
Ooh, I don't know how. I don't know where that came from.
Because you were there, Jared. You experienced it.
I haven't thought of that city since we were there. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, they just like multiple times the tap water would come up, and I was like, all right, relax. And then you take one sip, and it's like, all right, I kind of get it. It's different. It's different. It's different.
From I'm pretty sure it's from the Alps. Like that's what I thought they said. We're aqueducts from the Alps.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Vienna's a good one. I mean, I could obviously understand why you would say that. Then the other, well, I guess I can understand why you would say Homotov in Prague. Obviously, you live there, but not China or not Jinan. It's probably too soon. Like it was
maybe too soon, and also it was a shorter time. Vienna, I was there for like 9 or 10 months. Czech Republic,
I can imagine
also
it
10
changing
months.
your life because you were there and then you left because of a freaking pandemic that's still happening. But I could also feel like we might be too close for you to even look at it as like something that was for you to get nostalgic about it like that.
Right.
Where it's
I still get nostalgic. One of my roommates lived in China, and so we were actually talking about it today while we were having lunch. Mm-hmm. And so it is crazy, man. Just like I should stop saying that because that's so vague. That really says nothing, doesn't it, Jared? The term crazy.
You can say whatever you want. Listen, I'm not here to.
It's a free country. You're not going to censor me.
I'm not your parent.
You're not putting the duck quacks over whenever I say like shit or fuck or something.
I do edit out immense parts of this podcast in post, but other than that, I don't take out words specifically, just large chunks.
Fair enough. Well, with Jinan, it was just such a different experience, Jared. It was kind of like this wild roller coaster ride, really, if you think about it, because I'd never been to China before. I'd visited Prague before in the Czech Republic before I went to work there. And it was just another world, couldn't really speak any of the language, basically depended on my cell phone. Like if my phone would have died, I would have been so screwed on so many levels because I had to use a translator. I was using apps to like.
Well, why are you saying this? Because it's not one of the cities that changed your life.
Oh, it did. But I think you're right, though, Jared.
So you're just going to name every city you've ever been to. Dexter changed your life, too.
Yes. We started with 4. This is the top 10 list. No, I'm just kidding. But I did ask you, Jared. I want to know for you.
They said name a city.
Right. Sorry, and I named a bunch. What about you, though, Jared? What's a city or some cities that changed?
No, I'm going to answer the question. I probably have to say Meerbusch, which is where I lived in Dusseldorf. In a weird way, even more than Dusseldorf, I feel like. One, obviously, because I lived there. But, like, that was the first time I had, like, that neighborhood dynamic that like where like the kids all get together and stuff in the neighborhood, and it's like you can just like sort of meet somewhere and there might be kids there playing soccer or something, or you're like,
Oh, nice.
there's a spot where you can like go to the woods, and like there were like bike jumps and stuff.
Ooh,
And
that's awesome.
That was a good time. That was a good childhood, you know. And it was the first time where it was, and I think I really benefited from like, because I had friends that were American, I had friends that were German, one kid that was English. One of my classmates was Greek. He lived down the street. He had a pretty sick house.
Nice.
And so just I love like just there was an Italian, like he was half German, half Italian, but there was all sorts, and it was a cool dynamic, and it was
That
so
international
interesting.
crowd is nice.
Yeah, and I mean that was the first time I'd experienced anything anywhere close to like that, you know.
Oh, for sure.
So I think that was a real game changer, and I think that's still like that was the first time like I really had like I feel like I don't know, I feel like that was crucial, you know, in who I am today.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Mabush, Germany.
Okay. What were, I'm assuming soccer was probably the most commonly played street game?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if anything else was played other than that.
Right.
I mean, obviously, a lot of bike riding was happening. But that's not
For sure.
sport. I mean, when we didn't do it for sport, really. I guess you did if you call like jumping off and stuff, and mostly soccer. I couldn't even name another sport that I played. I mean, occasionally rugby, but that was more at school, not.
Right.
And
that was at soccer practice, wasn't it?
Before soccer practice, yeah. But sometimes it bleeded out outside of that.
Okay.
But mostly just soccer. If there was a soccer ball around, soccer would be played. I mean,
Right.
it's really like a like a stereotype. That's really all that I could think of sport wise.
Sure. Yeah, there's something special too, Jared. As an American, if you get the opportunity to live somewhere else where, the native language is a completely different one, even if you're in more of like a bubble, because I'm sure you spoke a lot of English when you were in Germany, right?
Sure, but it still
Because
forced you to learn the language quick.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like even more, like I think that was one of the biggest sort of motivators. Where it's like, even though obviously it was easy to get around in the school system with no
Right.
I mean, besides for the fact that they taught it to you and they expected you to get better, I guess.
Sure.
You could easily get around without it, but there was still obviously German being spoken around you in and outside of school.
Right.
And it just
When you have to use it if you're out in public doing stuff.
that that too for sure. Yeah. So yeah.
And it's a much nicer feeling if you can go and speak in the language instead of asking like sprechen Sie English and hoping.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Especially if you live there for a long time.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that, and that was the first time I actually took learning a language seriously too. Because I mean, granted, I still don't take French seriously when I was there either. But so I guess not much change there. Never mind. I just had the imperative of needing to learn German.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Speaking of German, I've started the semester back teaching German again, so it's been pretty fun.
Oh yeah, who are you teaching? I didn't even
College students. We're kind of gonna keep it vague. Just college students at a local community college.
Okay.
So we meet once a week
in person,
virtually.
Oh, okay.
It's a 3-hour session, so it's a long session. So you know what I'm trying to do, Jared, to spice it up? You should be able to guess this. You know me.
Oh, you're not just going to tell me? I didn't realize I was supposed to guess. I was like, well, this is a real long, dramatic pause.
Well, I asked you a question.
Yeah. No, of course I don't know. I'm playing games, I'd guess.
You're close. Playing music.
Okay. You're playing music? Or you're playing music
I'm showing them videos, and we're talking about the text in German.
Is it like what level are we talking?
These are beginners.
Okay.
These are beginners. So I do have to use some English, but it's supposed to be a conversational German class, so I think the vocabulary from the songs will help them in their conversations, and plus we've been practicing some conversations. They learned how to introduce themselves in German in our last session.
Mm-hmm. Have they learned? Do they know any swear words yet or anything important?
Well, I'm sure all of them know some swear words. Let's be honest, Jared.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that's exciting.
You just got to order a copy of Dirty German if you really want to learn swear words.
Do you Was that a
Or
book?
just ask a German
Yeah, I
person.
was
They'll
gonna say,
tell you.
I was like, what is this, the 1930s?
Right. Going incognito mode just so people don't know you're looking for swear words in German. Anyways.
I don't even know what that... Did you need to do any, like, brushing up in preparation? Or did you just like...
Oh, yeah. I mean, what I did was I listened to a lot of podcasts in German. And I made the slides and was practicing, like, stuff we were doing. But a lot of this stuff I've taught before as well. So it kind of comes back. It's almost kind of like muscle memory to some degree.
It's like, it's basic. If I was a teacher,
Right.
I could probably
sure.
teach 101.
You could teach this class for sure.
I mean,
you
I can't
sub
teach.
For me, Jared?
I can't teach, but I'm saying I probably have the German level to teach a 101 class.
Oh, without a doubt, easily, for sure. And I do try to do some instructions and stuff in German, so they get more German input or exposure, right?
But I don't have the skill to teach a 201 class.
A 201, really?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, if people are going to ask me questions about why it's dative and how I'm like, I guessed. I don't know.
Right.
I might be right. I might not be right, but they know what you're saying, okay?
Exactly. Well, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I had some German teachers that made some mistakes here and there. I make mistakes. I don't know. We all do.
But it's not about making mistakes. I'm saying I don't understand these concepts.
I see.
There's a difference between making mistakes and having a general understanding for the concept rather than just knowing like random verbs and what the case is for a random verb.
Right.
Yeah, and having no explanation for it.
True. Well, the sad thing is some things with German you just have to memorize it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't have that. I don't have that. But thanks for trying your hardest to try to convince me that I'm a teacher instead of just letting me tell you I don't know these things. I don't know why you're trying to tell me something that I do.
Fair enough. Well, Jared, I do
just
want
listen
to
me, Chad. Believe what I say.
I do, Jared.
I'm confident in my intelligence and where it lies.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, Jared, I do want to give a shout out today. This is a kind of a cool shout out. I don't know if you've heard of this story. Have you ever heard of Zara Rutherford, Jared?
No.
Well, I'm glad you haven't. So let's talk about her. Zara Rutherford is a Belgian-British pilot who is 19 and became the youngest woman to complete a solo global flight.
What kind of aircraft are we talking?
So she was on, I believe it's like a single person. Here, let me read you some of this article, Jared, and then I'm sure we can get to the nitty-gritty. So here we go. The 19-year-old Belgian-British pilot Zara Rutherford set a world record as the youngest woman to fly solo around the world, touching her small airplane down in western Belgium on Thursday, 155 days after she departed. She made it count for herself, family, and dedicated it to all young women trying to succeed in male-dominated sectors such as aviation and the exact sciences that drive the industry. Go for it. It takes a lot of time, patience, and a lot of work, but it's incredible, she said, after an adventure that gave her many thrills as scares, from the frozen tundra in Siberia to typhoons in the Philippines and the stark beauty of the Arabian desert. Oh, here we go. Right here, Jared. One time her one-seater Shark microlight plane, so that's what she had, a Shark microlight plane filled up with the stench of California wildfires. Often she was flying in absolute solitude over seas or desolate land, any potential rescue hours away. She had to spend weeks isolated in the tiny Siberian village of Ayan with barely any contact with her family or the world she knows. So this is just crazy, though, isn't it, Jared? Like, can you imagine
so crazy
driving, I guess not even crazy, but remarkable, astonishing to
That's
being
your
a
New
one
Year's resolution to work crazy out of your
That's right. That should be
out of your repertoire.
Exactly. I just can't imagine that, though, Jared. 155-day journey traveling around the world in like this small, like one-person aircraft, basically.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how far one of those things can go on a tank. Like, how far do you go? I wish I understood the the logistics of it, because obviously you have to stop a bunch. It's a pretty small plane, so like I'm just curious. I'm just wondering how that works, because I imagine there's a limit on how long you can be in the air, then how long you have to be on the ground, in between that time. And then I was like, and then you can only go so far at the same time. So I'm just curious about the logistics, and if there's time to see cool stuff while you're doing it.
And can I ask you another logistic question about this? What do they do for a visa? Like how does that work? Do you just get a visa for all these places?
Also, how does she fly over the ocean? Like, this plane is not that big. How does this work? I need to figure out how far this thing can go.
It's gotta. I wonder if there's a way they like filled up her tanks in the air, so she could keep flying. Like the military does that, but I don't.
We're talking about like
a little one-person plane,
like $100 million jets and helicopters versus like a little one-seater thing. I mean, the plane looks cool. I wish I could figure out how far. I mean, it's tiny, bro. Like, this is a tiny plane. It's 600 pounds empty.
What?
That's how heavy the plane is. Yeah.
That's crazy. 600 pounds.
Yeah, and it has a maximum cruising speed of 190 miles per hour. But that's like, I imagine she's not just, redlining it. I don't know. I don't know. It can only go 13,000 feet high.
Dang.
That's less than half of like a
commercial airline?
Yeah. All right, now I want to know how this even works logistically. I mean, it's obviously cool. Sure. I'm just very curious. Very curious.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so Zara had been flying, I guess, since she was like 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 14, she started flying herself. Can you imagine that, though, Jared? You're 14, you start doing flying lessons. 5 years later, you travel around the world solo. That just boggles my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think about that's kind of like being a professional athlete, essentially.
Right.
So, some
professional aviator?
Think about like, Formula One. They find you at like 12.
Right.
And then by 18, you're driving a Formula One car or something like that.
Right. Winning titles.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's won at 18, but yeah.
I wonder what the youngest Formula One.
I can tell you, it's 22. I think it's Sebastian Vettel, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, nice. But yeah, it just blows my mind though, Jared, traveling 155 days around the world. So big shout out to Zara Rutherford. I think that's amazing. So just wanted to share that with all of you today. Well, Jared, I think you might know what time it is.
It's time for those Untranslatables, I'm going to guess.
You better believe it. It's time for some Untranslatables, which are proverbs, idioms, sayings, slang that doesn't always translate on a one-to-one basis into English. And we are your tried and true untranslatable experts here to decipher them for you. So you want to get us started today, Jared?
Sure, dude. Sure. My first one is Lithuanian. And it's Iš kur kohos dįsta. I was watching Mission Impossible last week. I watched like 4 of them over the course of 3 days. Went on a real Formula One kick. I was right, by the way. It was Sebastian Vettel.
Nice.
And almost as much as his running and his ability to kick ass on demand was his ability to just, whip out all these different languages, from like Russian to Arabic to French, and Italian in the course of like, just like, and just have them ready to go. And I'm like, I know people can do that. But I'm like, are there people, like, what's the number of people that are also like spies that can do that?
Right.
It's such like you have to have so many skills to have this job that Tom Cruise has. And I'm just like, I mean, I agree. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the top in the world. Anyway, Iš kur kohos dįsta. Where legs grow from.
Where legs grow from. Where legs grow from. Give me something to work with here, Jared. I'm trying to think what is it like to be like good at the fundamentals?
No, but someone that finds it important to be good at the fundamentals might be constantly showing you where legs grow from.
Someone who's always right?
No. Your coach that's into fundamentals is constantly showing you where the legs grow from regarding your box out drills, regarding
correcting
your
your
pivots.
mistakes, maybe?
Your students hate you because you're constantly showing them where legs grow from, and it's super boring. They just sit there.
Super boring.
They just sit there for 3 hours while you show them where legs grow from, and then you dismiss them. And it's like,
Does that mean you're talking about nothing?
it's like next week. No, you're talking about something.
Okay.
It's to give someone a lecture, Chad.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's good to know. Well, I'll try to not. What was it again?
Where legs grow from.
Where
I mean, it
legs
doesn't
grow
have
from?
to be negative.
Oh, that's true. I
Giving
guess
a lecture
there
is
are
just saying
positive
it's giving
lectures.
someone a lecture.
Right.
It didn't say
That's fair.
positive or negative.
Right. Well, my first one for you today is Portuguese, and this they generally say, I believe, in Portugal, and it is "Estou feito ao bife." And it
Did you purposely say that with the worst accent you could come up with?
No, not on purpose.
Okay.
"Estou feito ao bife." Is that
Okay.
better, Jared?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know how you're supposed to say this, and I don't speak Portuguese, Jared. But
You
it
could have
means
fooled
I'm
me, Chad.
like a steak. Oh well, I'm glad. I'm like
a
a steak.
It's like I'm angry. I'm well done. I'm fully cooked
Why might you be fully cooked?
because I'm angry.
But why are you angry?
Because you've pushed me to the last straw, Chad. What are we talking about again?
Not quite.
I was kidding.
I'm like a steak.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. It didn't work. You know, I can recognize when a joke doesn't work. You're a tough crowd. I like that. So it does have something to do with being fed up or angry.
I mean, someone who is angry could certainly say I'm like a steak.
I'm well done. I'm burnt.
Yeah,
You've burnt me more than
Why might you be burnt?
because you trusted someone way too many times, and they burned you.
This is more.
See what I
think
did there, Chad?
I do.
I've been burned like a steak from Outback. I don't know. Outback probably has a good steak. Who knows?
This is more like I'm trying to think.
Burn
of an
me like a
example for you.
McDonald's steak.
There you go. No, if, for example, Jared, maybe I come to you and I'm like, you know what, Jared, I really want to buy this Mercedes G-Wagon, but, I can only budget this much per month for a car payment. And I've been trying to run the numbers, and I've been running the numbers, but I'm just like a steak.
To be broke?
No, not to be broke. It's when you
I'm
run
at wit's
into
end.
no, it's when someone runs into a problem and they can't figure out the solution.
Okay, so I did get it. At wit's end is what that would be.
Is that what I've never heard that one before. Okay.
Jeez, Chad.
At wit's end? I thought at wit's end was more like you're like frazzled. Well, I guess you're frazzled because it's a problem you can't figure. Yeah, okay. Very good, Jared.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you. I got it right in the last second.
That's right. What else do you got for me?
Now you're making me look up at wit's end like I'm the idiot. Questioning.
CJ, if you say something with confidence,
You
people
make me
just
question
buy it.
who the youngest Formula One world champion is. I got that right. You make me question my knowledge of the English language. Completely puzzled and perplexed, not knowing what to do. I'm at wit's end. Isn't that what you're untranslatable?
This one is when there's a problem you can't solve.
So yes.
Yes.
Okay. A problem you can't solve. Completely puzzled and perplexed, not knowing what to do. I think those are the same thing.
I agree with you.
All right, I got it at the last minute. I just need to. That was a buzzer beater of an untranslatable get. My next one, interesting. You had a Portuguese one. Mine's Portuguese as well, but it's from Brazil, and it's Now, see, I shouldn't have. I knew this was coming too, so I don't know why I shat in your Portuguese when obviously mine's no better. Procurando chifre na cabeza. No, that's not. That's Spanish. What's the little squiggly under the C? How does that work?
Is it a cha sound?
Cabeza. Procurando chifre na cabeza de Saval.
Something about your head?
Mm-hmm. Saval in French is the same word. It would be cheval, I believe. And it's searching for horns on the horse's head.
Searching for the... Searching for the... Is this like... Oh, man, I have no idea. I'm trying to think. Like, the first thought that came to my mind is that, like, someone you are trying to, like, judge before... It's like, basically, you're making an unfair judgment on somebody.
That's
kind of
interesting.
like judging a book by its cover, but I don't think that's what it is.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say
searching
that's
for
what
the
it
horns
is.
on the horse's head. Is that what it was?
So you know, I got HBO the other day, and I started watching The Wire.
Okay.
And well, this is gonna be tough. I mean, I could make this work, but this is gonna be a tough one. I shouldn't have gone here. But you know, have you seen The Wire? Yeah,
No, of course not.
Well, yeah, I haven't either. So, oh, excuse me, cavallo. I just realized I missed out the last letter on that last word. Anyway, it means I'll just tell you what it is. It means looking for issues where there are no issues, poking around for unnecessary reasons. Trying to find a horn on a horse's head that doesn't exist. Why are you trying to find this horn?
What is that like? If you're it's like a hypochondriac, someone who
that could be.
They're always sick.
Could be, sure.
Right, or
constantly searching for issues that don't exist. I guess so.
Right. Okay, I like that one. That's
a hypochondriac could certainly be searching for horns on a horse's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone that has like IMDb thumbnailed, you know.
Exactly.
Bookmark,
for sure,
I should say,
Jared.
not thumbnailed.
Right. My next one for you is also Brazilian Portuguese. Portuguese. I probably said that wrong as well. Amigo da onça. And this means, you got the first word.
Yeah.
Onça is jaguar. Friend of the jaguar.
Oh, a conniving son of a bitch. A real sneaky bitch.
Yeah.
A snitch.
I'll give it, not a snitch, but I guess that is.
Could be, could not be.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a snitch.
But what kind of person might be a snitch, Jared? It's a little bit more specific, but you basically got it.
Someone that knows everyone but can't be trusted, or someone that's just like shady.
Yeah, and they can't be trusted.
Are you saying that's it?
Well, let me ask you this: a person who is suspicious or whatever, you might not like them because they might do what to you?
Stab you in the back.
There we go. That was exactly what I was looking for.
Did I not say conniving, though? I feel like
you did
said
say conniving.
Okay.
Yeah. Which also that is like a synonym for stabbing somebody in the back, right? Conniving.
Yeah. Literally, knife is in the...
Right? Right?
Where do you think stab in the back comes from? Conniving. You going to connive me again in the back?
Right.
And then stab in the back. That's where that comes from, Chad.
Exactly. I do want to read this, though, to you, Jared, because this is kind of interesting. So this expression did originate in Brazil, but it also became really popular in Portugal, where there are no jaguars. And it does mean a fake person, a false friend, or someone who lies and stabs you behind the back, which is someone who is conniving, as you mentioned, Jared. A friend who cheats is a friend of the jaguar. The origin of this expression is from the comic book Amigo da Onça, by Pericles de Andrade Maranhão. I'm sure I said that last name, butchered it. Published in 1943 in Brazil. The name came from a famous Brazilian joke. And I know you love my jokes, Jared, but this one's not mine. But let me tell you this joke.
Okay.
So person one says, if you were in the forest and a jaguar appeared, what would you do? And person two says, well, I would shoot the jaguar. Person one says, what if you didn't have a shotgun? Person two says, Well, then I'd pull out my knife and kill the jaguar. Person 1 says, if you didn't have a knife. Person 2 says, I would hang the jaguar with a rope. Person number 1, but if you didn't even have a rope, what would you do? Person number 2 angrily says, are you my friend or a friend of the jaguar? I'm sure the joke's a lot funnier in Portuguese, but there you go. So
I get the premise of the joke though, and I understand. I would call that more of like, I don't know, not a riddle, but yeah. Jokes doesn't seem the right term, but I get it. I like it.
Right.
I do like that.
it's probably much better in comic book form, I would imagine, since
Dude,
it's a longer dialogue.
It's funny that you say that because that sounds like a good Sunday comic that you just read.
Oh, for sure.
And I could imagine it being, what was that comic? There's some comic that is like a animal. I never knew the names of most of them. They're like two animals talking or a bunch of animals.
Right.
Something maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I know you don't know. I'm not actually asking you. But
Right.
But yeah, like I would I could see that in like a Sunday comic.
Mm-hmm.
So
for
it's
sure.
a joke. It's just not funny, but it could still be a good joke.
Right. You got any more untranslatable?
No.
Well, let me give you one more, Jared. This one is also Brazilian Portuguese, and it is arrastando a asa, which means dragging the wing.
Okay.
Dragging the wing.
That's like burying the lead, or is that it? Did I get it right?
No. I was shaking my head. No, sorry.
Oh, sorry. That's like being lazy. Stop dragging your wings.
No. So say, Jared, say you decide, we're going to take a trip down to Brazil for Carnival, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to go down there, and Jared might meet a nice Brazilian lady while he's down there. And I might look at you, Jared, and I go, Jared, are you dragging the wing with her?
Flirting?
Very good, Jared. Yeah. Very good.
I'm like, no. If you see she has a gun to my stomach, she's robbing me right now. Now you're involved too. And that would the only way I'm getting mug like that, Chad, is because I have a lack of street smarts. That's the only way it's happening.
Oh, okay. The street intelligence is a big one, Jared.
It is a big one.
And I feel like that in some ways overlaps with common sense, but it's not completely the same thing. But I think, yes, street intelligence is certainly, I think that leads to other types of intelligence, right? Like being able to read people is another type of intelligence. Like, it's crazy how many different types of intelligence there really are if you like kind of take a step back and look at it.
Yeah, I think common sense is like the base form of like street smarts, It's like street smarts to the nth degree,
Right.
Where it's like it's really honing in on understanding people and how to and being able to perform ocular pat downs on one's psyche just as they approach and know how to mirror such behavior, so you'll be prepared for any situation. Once again, I've been watching a lot of The Wire recently, so this need for street smarts and reading people is on my mind a lot.
And I've been watching a lot of Always Sunny, which is the opposite of that. I feel like they are terrible at reading people, which is why the show is so hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But that's the weird thing about intelligence, though, man. Even with Always Sunny, even though all of those characters are quirky as hell and goofy, they all do have some levels of other types of intelligence. Like, I will say Dennis is a pretty good influencer with a lot of them, kind of a leader, and also very persuasive. And I feel like those are certain types of, I don't know if it would be inter or intrapersonal intelligence.
What about some of the other ones?
Well, I think Frank, technically he's really rich, right? Because they talk about him all the time. So I would imagine he's good with money and good with numbers.
He's good at manipulating people too.
That's true. I'm trying to think for Charlie.
He's
don't know
an artist.
What Charlie. His music is pretty good.
He draws too. He's an artist for sure.
Right.
Nobody knows more about bird law than him. Also, just to be fair.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I think for Mac, I will say, I mean, he's in great shape. At least the more later seasons.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if there's like there is like a type of muscular kind of kinesthetic intelligence, right? Knowing how to use your body, but it's not really like they display his athleticism in the show, really. But
Which is why I find that because you sound like him.
that's true. Maybe I'm just trying to defend him a little bit.
He portrays a certain level of raw muscle and power.
That's right. It's just mass, Jared. It's extra mass.
That's why I was laughing. I was like, yeah, that's all the stuff he says.
Right. Maybe he got me, Jared. He got me sucked in. Got me to believe. Yeah. But yeah, one of the reasons, though, Jared, why...
You mentioned D. I love it. Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, well,
you don't have to. Continue. I just thought it's hilarious, though.
Well, I don't know what hers would be.
I don't either.
I'm not sure. That's why I didn't mention her.
She's very bird-like. Her Billy.
Now you sound like the characters from the show, Jared. But one of the reasons why, Jared, I wanted to talk about different types of intelligence today is because I came across some different articles about a term, I guess a bonus little untranslatable for you today, Jared. There's a term in Brazilian Portuguese, jeitinho, which means basically someone who finds a way to kind of get around the rules of the system, right? So and it kind of happens in all sorts of different ways. And this could be legal or slightly not so legal. But maybe your brother-in-law works at the embassy and can get you a passport a little bit faster if you pay $50 or whatever. Like there are different ways in different cultures how to kind of get around the rules, right?
Sure. That's the street smarts, though. You got to know the cultural norms. If you're gonna flash, it's a little bit riskier to flash $100 at someone in the U.S., especially an official, some sort of legal government official,
with like a dash, or not even a dash cam, a body cam on them.
While in most other countries, it's like, well, we wouldn't have to go through this if you just gave me cash.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, you have $100. Why don't you just give me that? Then we could have. Right. Then I would have just let you go through without searching your car and asking you all these questions and patting you down.
Exactly. Now you're naked by the roadside, and this all could have been avoided.
Yeah, we could. And I'm taking the $100 anyway. So
exactly.
For you wasting my time.
But yeah, I love that though. Like, and that's the cool thing, kind of, about street smarts. And like I said, if you really look at street smarts, there's a lot of other deeper types of intelligence involved in that. Like you mentioned, reading people is a big one. Also, like
getting a good table at a restaurant. I wish I had I wish I had that in me to like do like more, more like subtle. Handing people money and being like, there's a 35-minute wait, and then just be like, is there any way we could cut that down? And then like sliding, but that's so risky because then they take the money and they're like, no.
That would be hilarious, right? I saw this video.
I'm sure
online.
We can get that down to a 5-minute wait. And it's like, no, we can't. But thank you for the $100.
Well, that reminds me, Jerry. I saw this video online the other day of this teacher was handing out like their homework, and the student was like, hey teacher, can I skip homework this week? And she like slid like a $5 bill towards him on the table. He takes the $5 bill and he's just like, nope, and he just hands her the homework and walks away. I thought that was just hilarious.
Oh wow, that would be a good scam though. It'd have to be more than $5, but I bet you once you start getting at $20, the teacher might think about it, especially if you're consistently. We got to start. You say like you got to start with like 100. I don't know why that's my number today. Okay. And then it'd be like there's more where that came from. If you keep this up, and then on a weekly basis you slide them anywhere from $10 to $20. Then I think it would work. Okay.
When you sub for my German class, Jared, how much money are you gonna take for the students to skip their homework?
I'm a sub. I'm just going to put on a video anyway. I'm not checking anything. I'm like, you guys all get A's for today.
You're just going to play them Lola Rent?
Yeah. And then at the very end, there's going to be one student that was like, aren't you going to check our homework? I'll be like, well, I wasn't going to, but I'm going to check yours. Everyone else is free to go.
Dude, that is hilarious. I'm just going to check yours. Everyone else gets an A, but you need to hand yours in.
What's your name? Michael? It's Rat from now on. gonna bully your students
Exactly.
for 3 hours, Chad. That's what
There we
I'm
go.
getting at.
Okay. You'd be a great sub, Jared. I hope at least you'd pick a good German movie. That's all I really ask.
Lola Rent's a classic. You know, you can't go wrong with that. There are some.
Right.
We have 3 hours though. Maybe I'd pick one of those effed up movies that Perry showed us from the Holocaust.
Das Weiße Band.
Is that what
I
I'm
think that one's
thinking
like
of?
2.5 hours. Well, that one's not even. That one's set during like I think the early.
That's
Before World War One, even maybe.
Oh, is it? It's rough.
It's a creepy one though. Yeah, it's weird.
There are also some of those not silent movies, but is that? Oh, it is a silent movie.
Didn't we watch? What is it? Nosferatu.
I never watched Nosferatu. I can't remember what they're called.
That one's a silent one.
I watched two. Like there was one where there was that giant building. It's kind of hard to explain a plot of a silent movie that you.
Right.
But I definitely remember watching two very specific, and I think they were very popular silent movies. But I couldn't tell you what they were now. My memory is
We watched
so bad.
Mephisto. I think one of those years. That was kind of a weird one.
Never heard of that either.
Really? I'm pretty sure
No,
you
Metropolis,
totally watched that.
That's one of the ones we watched for sure.
Okay.
That's 100% one of the ones we watched. I don't know if that's the one I was just talking about, but I definitely that is what I was thinking of. Metropolis. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, that's the other one. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. We watched that too.
Yeah, that's also a pretty strange one. Well, Jared, one thing I wanted to do today.
What are the types of? Are we going to talk about the types of intelligence at some point?
We are, and what I want to do first though is I want to find out what type of intelligence you might be. So I found a 10-question test that we're going to take real quick.
Let's do it.
So here we go, Jared. I'm sorry, there's like a shit ton of options here. There's
we're going to do it for
options.
both of us.
I've already done mine.
Okay,
it's the same questions, so I will tell you mine after we do yours.
Gotcha. That was
so here
smart.
we go, Jared.
That's smart of you.
Tell me. I try to do a little prep today. So here we go, Jared. What was your favorite subject in school? And you can just tell me, and if it's on, or do you want me to read through the 8 options for you?
I'll read through the 8 options.
All right, here we go. What was your favorite subject in school? Art, math, music, philosophy, foreign languages, PE, debate, or biology?
I wish it wasn't PE. But it really was. I mean, that's the only thing I was confident about my skills in.
PE it is. During your free time, you like to paint, figure out complex problems, listen to music, meditate, read a book, run or hike, volunteer for a charity, or garden.
See, I like run or hike because obviously that's sort of a broader thing. If it were to be biking, I think I would still go into that category.
Sure.
But I love music and that combination would be my favorite.
So which one though, is the music or the hike better?
I'm gonna go with the music.
Music, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you could. It'd be interesting if you could do multiple options.
Because really, my favorite would be like soccer, which I still put in the run or hike category because I think they just mean like physical activity.
Yeah.
And music.
Right.
Or even biking, but you can't. But I'm trying to figure out which one is really my favorite between those two.
Sure.
And I think as an overall hobby, it might be music, even though I like to play soccer more. So I'm gonna go with the music.
Music. Okay.
I imagine that's what you went with as well for that one.
It totally was.
I mean, you can tell me it's not gonna ruin the quiz.
That's true. So for me, number one, my favorite subject in school was foreign languages.
Okay.
And in my free time, it was listening to music as well.
Mm-hmm.
Although read a book. And, I mean, I'm not a big runner. I do enjoy hiking once in a while. I do like, tennis. Like, I also like, sports as well. But anyways, listening to music was also my choice. Here we go. What type of programs do you usually watch on TV? Option number 1, I'm not really into TV. I'd rather do something hands-on. Number 2, foreign films or telenovelas. Number 3, Cosmos, a space-time odyssey. Number 4, So You Think You Can Dance. Number 5, The Voice. Number 6, Couples Therapy. Number 7, Super Soul Sunday. And number 8 is nature programs on PBS.
These options suck.
Right? I kind of thought the same thing.
Why did they name like 3 different versions of the same show between So You Think You Can Dance and whatever that other one was?
Right. The Voice.
Or could you start over? I thought they'd actually get to good shows at some point.
Yeah, no. Number 1's really, I'm
like,
not
what about
really into
crime
TV.
or comedy?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
because those two would be probably over
I agree.
this.
I agree.
Anyway,
Action.
sorry,
yeah.
go ahead again. I was waiting
okay,
to hear something I
number
actually was
one-
expecting to like.
Right. All right. So here we go. Number 1, not really into TV. I'd rather do something hands-on. Number 2, foreign films or telenovelas.
Okay.
Number 3, Cosmos, A Space-Time Odyssey. Mm-hmm. Number 4, So You Think You Can Dance. Number 5, The Voice.
Okay. Those two are
Number
the same,
6,
essentially, right?
Couples Therapy. I mean, yeah, they're pretty similar.
I mean, just
Number
dancing
6,
or singing.
right. Couples Therapy is number 6. Super Soul Sunday is number
What
7.
is that?
There's a tongue twister for you.
What
I'm
is,
not sure.
Is that like a
Super Soul Sunday. I don't know.
like is that like some black show from the 50s? That like where they let the black people have a show on Sunday night? And it's just
Maybe.
them dancing back in the 40s.
Right.
Or, you know, it's like, it's Chocolate Sundays. Welcome to Super Soul Sundays.
Play Chocolate Rain for the
And
intro.
they do that thing where they'll dance on TV for an hour. I'm just quoting what's that Hairspray the movie, but or the musical. I guess it's the movie after that. But anyway, all right. Oh, that's hard.
And number 8, by the way, was nature programs on PBS.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I'm gonna have to go with the Cosmos.
Cosmos, okay.
I think out of all of that stuff, that's what I could get the most into.
Okay. Now, I'm not into telenovelas, but I do like foreign films. Out of all those things, I would rather watch a foreign film than any of that crap.
Yeah, I could go that way too. I guess I got thrown off by the. Can I change my answer?
Sure. To foreign films?
Yeah. Because I can
Okay.
name foreign films that I like and that I've seen recently.
Right.
Roma,
Like
I saw a
Das Weiße
couple
Band?
years ago. No, yeah, but I mean, that's not recently.
I know.
Yeah, that's that one. Schindler's List. That one I've seen
Right.
a couple times, actually. Is that a foreign?
right,
No, that's not a foreign film. That's an American movie
That is an American movie.
about
yeah.
Germany.
Yep. Okay, number 4 for you, Jared. It's your day off and it happens to be a beautiful summer day. You are most likely to, number 1, put together a puzzle. Number 2, read the latest bestseller. Number 3, try out a cool chemistry experiment you saw on YouTube. Number 4, going for a run. Number 5, head to a concert. Number 6, call up some friends to hang out and chat. Number 7, enjoy some quality time all alone. Number 8, head up to the mountains for a day of hiking.
I'm gonna go with. Well, I wouldn't. It's soccer, so like, I wouldn't run.
Right.
But no, I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go hiking.
Okay. Hike up to the mountain to
'Cause-
hike.
I like going for long walks, and I also like mountain biking, even though I haven't done it in a long time.
Sure.
And I think that's closer to the idea of going to the woods and hiking. And I eat long walks through the city and stuff. So I'm gonna go with hiking actually more than running.
Right. That's fair. I think I picked this one. I either picked head to a concert or even call up some friends to hang out and chat. But I think I misread that because what I thought that meant is like you call them to hang out and then you go hang out with them and like you talk to them while you hang out.
I think that's what that does mean, isn't it?
Is that okay? Yeah.
Wait, that's call up.
Call up. Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know if they mean chat on the phone because I don't really chat on the phone anymore. But
And
I'm
we're talking
down
about
to
if
like
it's a
hang
nice
out.
day.
Right.
It's like, if
We
it's a
would-
nice
right.
day, I want to go sit on your back porch and get attacked by murder hornets.
That's true. Exactly. Well, yeah, I would like to hang out outside. But anyways, I picked either that or head to a concert.
I
don't
see. I
remember
took it
now.
the way that you took it too,
Right.
meaning
Yep.
call to come together.
Right, exactly. That's just because that's how we are, Jared. Anyways, number 5. When you are trying to come up with ideas for a new project, you are most likely to find inspiration by great works of art, charts and graphs, rhythm and beats, your own intuition, motivational speeches, the human body, other people's perspectives, or die Natur, nature.
Intuition.
Okay. I picked the same thing, Jared.
Wow.
Same thing. At a party,
We're really full of ourselves.
I guess so. Although
I got it all
was
figured out. It's
Right?
all up here. All the genius I
Exactly.
need. I'm pointing to my head, by the way.
For mine, sometimes it's like an epiphany moment. You know, you're like in the shower or you're combing your beard or something, and then just something kind of comes to mind. But I don't know if that's your intuition.
That happens
but,
to
like,
me too.
Right.
It's not uncommon it's not a daily occurrence, but it's not uncommon for me to get out of bed and write something down in my notebook. Probably happens once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. For me too, sometimes it comes to me before like I go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know,
Same.
So like,
I mean, yeah. That's kind of what I mean. It could happen. Like, it's less likely that I'm waking up in the middle of the night, like brain blast, but more likely where I'm like lying in bed in those final moments where it's like you're dozing off.
Yep.
And where it's like you're about to be asleep, or it's like I don't feel like getting up because I'm in the final stages of approaching sleep, but I want to remember this.
Oh, for sure.
And then every time, occasionally, you look it up in the morning, and look at it in the morning, you're like, that's stupid. All right, on with my day.
At least you went to bed feeling confident. All right, my next question for
I
you,
didn't
Jared.
say my intuition was good. I just
Right, exactly. But I use it. Exactly. Number 6, at a party, you're most likely to check out the host's art collection, talk with friends, estimate the number of guests in attendance, dance the night away, be the DJ, network and connect friends to each other, people watch, or wander outside to check out the landscaping.
Ooh. I'm going to go with people watch.
People watch. Okay.
I could see the wander outside for certain reasons. I don't know why.
Yep. But,
But,
I was thinking that might be your answer.
But
I was hoping there'd be a Jared exit, or what do they call that? An Irish exit?
The
where
Irish
you just
exit.
Deuce out.
But what they say, I'm there. I guess I'm assuming I'm at the party.
Right.
And
you
if I'm
actually
at
wanna
the
be there?
party, then
Right.
I'm most likely to
People
watch.
watch?
Yeah.
It's
I enjoy
pretty
that.
good.
Especially
Like,
at a party,
yeah.
watching like the dynamic between two people, spotting out the drunkards, talking to the sobers,
Oh, for
watching
sure,
the people
for
that
sure.
are like really into a conversation versus like, when is this going to end?
Right. Oh, exactly.
I love
100%.
watching, even at like bars and restaurants and stuff. I like watching other people's interactions
Right.
and stuff, and
It's
trying
fun.
to guess what their situation is.
Dude, I did some serious people watching with my roommate last week when we went out to O'Toole's, and it was fun because
Is
I
that
haven't
now
been
your
out
spot?
to a bar. No, well, if you go someplace once, does that mean
Is
your
it
spot?
the same time? I thought you went another time after.
No,
that.
no, just that one time.
I got
for
you.
now,
No,
please.
never mind.
But yeah, we did some serious people watching. But
Yeah.
I picked talk with friends. Like
Okay.
that's, if I'm at a party, that's probably what I'm doing.
That's
All
fair.
right. You're sitting in the dentist's office waiting for your appointment. I think I know your answer here. How do you choose to pass the time? Doodle, read an article, estimate the bill, which I couldn't do that.
That's such an
I don't know how much
American
my
thing,
insurance,
though,
right?
because like if in most other countries, that's not a concern.
You're not even thinking about that. Yeah, you're not even thinking about that for sure. All right, next one. Get up and take a walk. If it gets too long, listen to Spotify with my headphones, or listen to music. Start up a chat with the person next to me. That's totally you, Jared, right there.
What are you in here for? What's
right?
wrong with your teeth?
Right? You here for a root canal or a crown?
Yeah, I got another cavity.
Exactly.
No one asked.
Number 7, daydream. Number 8, check out the condition
about
of
to
the
say
office
day drink.
plants. Right? Yes. Just chugging your tequila, shot after shot.
Sorry, what was the last one?
Check out the condition of the office plants.
Okay. I mean, I am a sort of a green thumb now. That
planter?
My plants are thriving these days. I mean, the answer is obvious. I wouldn't go into a situation like that without my headphones.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
What do you think I answered? It was doodle, read an article, estimate the bill, get up for a walk, listen to Spotify, start up a chat with the person next to me, daydream, or check out the condition of the office plants.
I don't know. Daydream?
Nope.
That's a tough one. Would you strike up
Although
conversation?
I am a daydreamer. No, not usually. Not.
I don't know what
at
you would
the
do.
dentist's office. I usually, if there's like a magazine or something, I usually will even bring a book with me. Actually, if I go to the dentist.
So you hit the
So I-
article one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
read an article.
Occasionally, I'll read about like a 2013 Toyota Camry and the car and driver that's been sitting there
Right.
since
Right.
then. Yeah, it's like,
For sure.
that's what they said about the Audi A4
Right.
from 2014. Interesting. Okay.
It's like, how did you learn how to translate French or Japanese or Chinese or Spanish? Well, I just read this this manual over and over in all these different languages and just became fluent. I was so bored at the dentist's office. All right, next question though, Jared. You've been asked to participate in a community play. What role do you perform? Set designer, the treasurer, you work in audio visual, you're a producer, a script writer, lead actor, director, or prop manager.
I want to act.
Oh, lead actor, actress.
I want to act.
Nice. Okay. Which of the following
What
games
did you choose?
do you, what did I choose for this? I think audio visual because
Okay. You don't do
I
it
was in
here.
the pit. Well, yeah, I was in the pit.
Oh, you've done it before.
Playing guitar. Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah.
For school plays. I guess that's a community play, right? But I don't know. I was.
But you've done audio for concerts at Albion too.
True. Yeah, actually, you're right.
So I mean,
Absolutely.
it's not a movie set, but you did the audio,
Right.
which is
Right. Yeah.
So
I was thinking I could
Same
also
concept.
do script writer or director, maybe also actor, but I don't know. I would
could
rather
see-
do audio.
I could
visual.
see a writer for myself as well.
For sure. I could see that.
Actually,
You're a good writer.
You pick that one.
Writer instead of lead actor?
I don't think
Okay.
I have the balls to put myself in a lead
Be the
acting
lead?
position.
Okay. Yeah, see, I would be an actor. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on the play, I guess. We'll see.
But I like the idea of being in a writer's room and like trying to figure out the story, spitballing jokes. That seems like
Right.
a cool vibe.
Oh, for sure.
I'm imagining it's a comedy, I guess, or spitballing anything, spitballing ideas.
It'd be fun. Yeah?
Yeah, and then he takes his pants off. What? I don't know. Switch it up.
Exactly.
Keep saying that, Jared, okay?
That's right. Switch
It's a
it up.
murder mystery.
No, we're making this into a comedy with a crazy plot twist at the end.
So he slips and falls, right? His pants fall off. Doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, go ahead.
Number 9. Which of the following games do you excel at the most?
Ooh, now we're talking.
Pictionary,
No.
Sudoku,
No.
Guess the Song,
I'm pretty good at
Magic
that,
Tricks,
No.
Taboo.
What's taboo? How does that go again?
Taboo is when you can't say the word.
Oh, right. There's that's the one. Oh, yeah. We used to play that with my family. We play that where there's there's a word that you have to tell the other people.
Yeah,
But on
but you
that is a
can't-
list of words you can't say to describe the thing.
Correct.
Yeah,
like
that's
if
a
it would
fun
be
one. I like that
basketball,
game.
you couldn't say hoop,
Michael
or-
Jordan. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Taboo charades. I don't know this one. He said, she said. I don't know what game that is. Or geocaching.
Yeah, he said, she said. That's like,
What is? Do you know that game? I don't know that game.
I didn't know that was a game. That's like, you can't believe it's like a he said. That isn't that like where it's like kind of like hearsay, where it's like you're telling me what someone else said. That's what I thought.
Like telephone.
Yeah, where it's like that, like you can't really trust what that person said because, maybe it is telephone. He said, she said.
Oh,
It's also apparently a movie.
I would call it telephone, I guess.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Well,
when
we're
one
guessing.
person-
I don't know if that's true.
Right.
I don't know if that's what it is. How do you? I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know.
Okay.
It's some sort of
okay.
improv game apparently, but
Gotcha.
clearly we wouldn't play
Okay.
it because we don't even know what the hell it is.
Right. So which game, Jared? Pictionary, Sudoku, Guess the Song, Magic Tricks, Taboo, Charades, He Said, She Said, or Geocaching?
I'm pretty good at Taboo.
Okay.
I would have said
That's-
Guess the Song if Taboo wasn't on there because I'm pretty good at that too.
I also was picking between those two. I also said Taboo. So
Okay.
this is kind of funny. All right. Next one. You have a big test tomorrow and need to review the material. What study method do you use? Number 1, you use a highlighter for important notes. Number 2, you read the textbook and you take notes. Number 3, you create an outline and rank items by importance. Number 4,
like a good idea. I do not do that, but that's a good idea.
Right. Number 4, you get some hands-on experience. I don't even know what that really means, but okay.
How's
You
that gonna
get some
get you
hands-on
prepared for a
experience.
test?
Right?
Oh, this chemistry test. Let me go get some chemicals and start mixing shit and see
Right.
what happens.
This is where I see you doing, Jared. You make up a song about what you're learning.
Yeah.
I can see you at the
Conjunction,
keyboard
junction,
making a
what's
song.
your function?
That's right, exactly. Or you make a study group, you relate the information to your own life, or you study in the park?
I do the second one.
You read the textbook and take notes.
Yeah.
I think that's also what I did.
I hate those study group people.
This is hilarious.
We got the same thing.
We got the same thing.
I hate those study group people because I feel like those always seem like a waste of time to me. It seems like a lot of hanging out and not a lot of getting anything done.
Right. Yeah, it depends on the study group. But yeah, for the most part, I'd agree with you. I do tend to study better solo. But it can be good to review with other people. Like, I do review sessions in my German class, but I think reviewing with people is different than, like, studying. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah,
You know?
I guess so.
All right. Well, Jared, I know you're dying to know what kind of intelligence do you have?
I'm already bummed out because we're the same.
You're bummed out. Right. Verbal linguistic intelligence. People who are strong in I would agree, though. People who are strong in linguistic verbal intelligence are able to use words well, both when writing and speaking. These individuals are typically very good at writing stories, memorizing information, and reading. They tend to learn best when they read or hear information and often enjoy debating or giving persuasive speeches. Your strengths include remembering written and spoken information, reading and writing, debating or giving persuasive speeches, explaining things well, and using humor when telling stories. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I think that's fair. If you had to choose, yeah, I guess so. Sure.
Okay.
It's like, you know, that's kind of like a horoscope, you know, where it's like, yeah, you can convince yourself that that's you.
Right. Exactly.
You could have given me like 4 of them, other than whatever ones. It's like, you're super outgoing and love just being around people and just, you know, interacting and networking and getting to know people.
It's like, yeah, yes, I do.
On an intellectual level. It's like, yeah, no, I don't think that.
I will say, though, I kind of like this quiz.
And that's you too, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Same exact.
I mean, also, I guess it's sort of a good thing. You know, we're all here on this. This did sort of start as a language podcast, so I guess we're just validating ourselves. What's the quote you liked?
Well, I just like that this quiz itself. I mean, it's short and sweet. I don't know how actually accurate it is, but I mean, once again, I do agree with the results to some degree. I think as well, one of my other talents or intellects that I think I have is also musical intellect. I think so. You said, Jared, let's talk about these. You asked,
you can see all the options there that you could have gotten.
I don't see. I believe this test is drawn from this from Psychology Today.
Okay.
So there are 12 that they mention here. So number 1 is logical mathematical intelligence. So this is the ability to analyze problems rationally, perform mathematical operations, and investigate scientific questions. You need to be able to calculate, quantify, consider propositions and hypotheses, and perform complex logical operations. So that's number 1. Number 2, linguistic intelligence. Special sensitivity to spoken and written language.
And this is us?
This is us, yep.
Okay.
Manifests as the ability to learn languages and use language effectively to achieve certain goals. Writers and great communicators possess this type of intelligence. Then this next one is an interesting one. Spatial intelligence. Spatial intelligence implies the ability to recognize and manipulate patterns in a wide space, such as used by navigators and pilots, as well as patterns in more confined areas, such as the case of sculptors, surgeons, chess players, or architects. I would also
maybe
add,
like a crime scene investigator or something like that.
Right, yeah. Or I was thinking, even depending on the sport, potentially athletes. You know, like spatial intelligence, like a quarterback. They have to know exactly where, for the most part, where they can throw that ball so their receiver can catch it, right?
Yeah. When I watch Formula 1 on some of the street circuits specifically, there's no like runoff area where it's like sort of just walls right on the side.
Okay.
And it's, you know, it's wild to watch how close, you know, you can get to the wall on a consistent basis but not hit it. You know, you can do that for 50 whatever laps and not hit it. And just get, you know, and just like scrape your tire each time, yet not hit it too hard to you know, just and you know, that sort of quick spatial awareness, I think, is in that sort of reaction. So it's similar to like a pilot, sort of, you know,
for sure,
skill of being a pilot almost.
Yeah. And speaking of spatial intelligence, Jared, this type of intelligence refers to the ability to think in 3D. People who have it have extraordinary abilities to recognize and manipulate detailed and large-scale spatial images, as they also apparently people with what?
I'm not good at that. I feel like this is not my strong suit, right? What you're talking about.
Right, right. And what's interesting too is people with the spatial intelligence tend to have a very active imagination, which is kind of interesting.
Also not me.
Right. I have an active imagination to some degree, but I don't think it's like in a spatial type of way.
Right. Like imagining like cities in your brain or something.
Right, exactly.
Like some sort of Inception paradise in your brain.
Right. Exactly. Next one is body kinesthetic intelligence, which I totally agree with. Like the term muscle memory, right? Mm-hmm. Like a golfer, like who can, or what I think is actually really impressive,
like that high level consistency.
Right, right. Like an NBA player who can
also
like hit
Formula
like
One kind of.
Yeah,
that sort of high level consistency.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
And awareness.
Right. Or even like tennis players. I've been watching the Australian Open right now. And it's just crazy how consistent. There was a rally. I watched the Nadal match yesterday. And there was one of the rallies was like 26 or 27 shots.
Yeah, and there's no time to hesitate, especially mid-rally where you've committed to, say, one side, and it's like you don't have moments to hesitate because the ball is going over 100 miles an hour, and as soon as it's hit, the decision has to be made because you're already too late if you haven't made a decision by the time it's been hit.
I will say this, though. I do think tennis and table tennis players have superb, like a good tennis player has probably fantastic also spatial intelligence, not just the body kinesthetic with the consistency, but like tennis is such a game of angles, and table tennis is even more so because you can put more spin on the ball, right?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. Like I've seen highlight videos before where like a tennis player will hit the ball with so much spin it goes around the like net post into the court. You know, it's crazy. Or they'll hit a serve and it'll have so much side spin on it. Right when it hits the court, it moves so far to the left or the right that the person can't even hit it. You know.
Yeah. But all this is happening so fast where when you watch it on video, it just looks like all you see is just like the flash of the ball going back and forth. One of my favorite, by the way, Drake and Josh episodes was the table tennis episode.
Oh yeah, where the head is just moving back and forth, right? Yeah, that's
even
a funny
though Josh or Drake is a piece of shit nowadays, but that's okay.
Right. Number 5, Jared. Musical intelligence refers to the skills of interpretation, composition, and appreciation of musical patterns. People with this type of intelligence also have the ability to recognize and create musical tones, rhythms, and timbres. They tend to have a great facility to learn songs and rhythms, as well as to compose music and play different musical instruments. They develop a special sensitivity to music and can easily detect incorrect pitches or out-of-tune instruments.
I feel like I've always been sort of under the belief that falls into a similar category, or I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but this is always the belief I had, is that that's like a similar skill to the linguistic skill. That's just what we've always been told.
In what ways?
That the ability to be a good musician and the ability to be good with languages come from a similar sort of brain muscle.
Oh yeah. I've heard of that as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. I will say I think all of these levels of intelligence, there is probably some level of like innate or natural born ability, but I think a lot of it too is practice, right?
Yeah,
like I mean, all of these
for sure,
all of them. You know, it doesn't matter spatial, the street smarts, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, musical intelligence. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people have maybe a base level of musical intelligence, right? Like most people might be able to tap, to a rhythm and identify, like different parts of a song maybe. But then when it comes to like more like higher or more extreme musical intelligence would be like I'll never forget this, Jared. When I studied music in college, there was this concert that was given by the seniors of the piano department and the guitar department at Albion College. So I got to watch 2 of these senior classical guitar players play, and they played both amazing pieces, and then watched 2 senior pianists play, and they also played, I think, some Chopin and some Liszt. And then the guitar parts were Albanese and Villalobos, which was just amazing. But anyways, the piano teacher was listening to the guitar players play, and then after each person played, there was like a critique by like the professors of both departments, right? And they gave some like constructive criticism, feedback, all that good stuff. Anyways, the the teacher was like, by the way, in the third section of this, you played a C when it was supposed to be like a I think it was either a C sharp or a B.
F them. How dare they?
But the thing is that level of like
Awareness,
hearing ability to know that, and the thing is he was reading along with the sheet music.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that. Like I couldn't just listen to someone read along with the sheet music and be like, they missed that note.
Not only did they miss the note, but this is the note you played that was wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's one thing to recognize a missed note, but to hear the wrong note that they played and be able to be like, this is the wrong note you played.
Exactly.
Our friend Chris that did the bass line on the intro of this pod, he's I think a little further on the like in that sort of musical camp, because I remember he's always been very good at like being able to like figure out like the what is it where it's like you can hear the pitch, and you can just sort of like attribute
tell
it.
you what note.
Like when he did the bass line on this on our intro, I asked him, I was like, do you want to know the key it's in? And he said no, almost like, no, don't ruin ruin the fun for me.
Right.
He's like, no, I'll figure it out. Don't tell me. I'll figure it out.
The funny thing is, though, if you have a basic understanding of music, it's not too hard to figure. Well, maybe I'm coming from a privileged place because I've been playing guitar since I was 10 years old. But
sure,
I think with music, I agree with him though. Like it is kind of fun to like figure out what the key is in. I have some friends though too that can not only figure out the key like almost instantly, but they can play you like the riff or the chords. Like I'm the type of person where it takes me some time to kind of listen to it a couple times, kind of figure it out. Whereas I have some friends who can just listen to something and then just be like, all right, I listened to it. Let me play it for you now. So that's like a whole nother level, I think, of not only musical intelligence, but ability on an instrument, right?
Yeah. All right, what else? Let's keep going.
Sure.
Let's keep going. We got a few more.
Interpersonal intelligence. So this is the ability to understand other people's intentions, motivation, and desires, and use them to assertively engage with others. People with this type of intelligence develop the ability to recognize and understand the psychological background of the other people. Interpersonal intelligence therefore implies the development of effective verbal and nonverbal communication. These people notice the differences between one another, are sensitive to the moods of others, and have the ability to manage different perspectives from an empathic posture.
Yeah. That's a key one. That's partially, I think, keys into the street smarts. I think a street smarts is probably a mix of a lot of different things. Right. But I think that's a key part right there. And that's sort of what I was saying earlier, just more smartly said.
Right, exactly.
That's what I was getting at. I mean, they just, they said what I said is what I'm saying.
Exactly, for sure. Next up, Jared, we have intrapersonal intelligence.
Interesting.
So this is fundamentally inward, since it implies the ability to understand oneself. So the other one is more understanding other people. This is understanding yourself. So these people are not only aware of their wishes, feelings, moods, and expectations, but they use that information to intelligently manage their lives. I think that's one intelligent skill. Exactly. But I feel like emotional intelligence goes two ways, right? It's that which is the emotional intelligence of others, but then also the intra, your own emotional intelligence.
Because you can be like Dennis, for example, and have some like super high understanding of other people's psyche, or believe you do, yet be so unaware of your own like emotional.
Like when he tries to cry, he just can't cry.
I just saw that episode, dude.
Yes,
where they were where they were trapped in the boat. And
he has the onion.
Yeah, onions. Because he stole all of Mac's dad's letters and threw them away.
Exactly.
I just saw that right before we sat down here.
That's a hilarious episode, by the way. I love that one.
Yes, that. So I could see the difference between those two, because there are many like sociopaths or that are probably very good at or maybe trying to understand and manipulate other people's emotions, but have Dennis essentially.
Let me ask you this, Jared. Do you think you have more interpersonal intelligence, so with other people, or intrapersonal intelligence?
I have more interpersonal intelligence.
So you're better with others than yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think part of the reason I'm in therapy is to figure out myself. It's not more than anything, and to understand my own emotions and to take note of my own emotions. But I think I feel like I'm even though I might be a little antisocial, I am intelligent enough to be able to understand like I'm smart enough to read the room, and sort of understand if I'm annoying or not or something like that, or what the tone is in the situation better than I can probably understand my own emotions. Right. I think I can carry myself better in groups with other people, even strangers.
Sure. Well, I find that interesting, Jared, because for me, I think I have okay interpersonal skills, but I do think I have higher intrapersonal intelligence. Like, I generally know.
I think you're good at both, though. You're very personable.
I try. I put a lot of effort and thought into it, to be honest with you. But I think the other thing, though, too, Jared, is that I don't know, man. I hate to say this, but I've always been kind of sensitive and just kind of aware of my emotions.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But I do hate it. I don't know what it is, but
I know you hate it,
right?
But it's just you don't have to hate to say it. There's nothing. I don't understand why you find. We don't have to talk about this again. We've talked about this so much, but I don't understand. Let's
move on. There's still a couple other types of intelligence we need to talk about anyways. Naturalistic intelligence is the ability to perceive relationships between species and people, recognizing possible differences or similarities between them. These people are able to identify, discern, observe, and classify members of groups or species of flora and fauna with relative ease.
Interesting.
However, with this type of intelligence... However, those with this type of intelligence not only identify the variety that exists in the natural world, but also have a special sensitivity towards the environment. They have a natural curiosity.
By the way,
you
show me a 911, and I can tell you what trip it is.
I believe that. They have a natural curiosity to investigate their environment and be in contact with nature. So I have a coworker actually. She worked for our office, but now she's doing stuff with the biology department at the university, and she is this to the T. Like, she can tell you all about different animals, different plants,
like the people that are into birds. Like bird people are probably really good at that.
Not bird law, but real birds.
Dude, that episode, the Always Sunny episode, was so good because he had this pretty convincing argument about how his bird law made sense, but then the final step was he asked a professor to talk to the bird.
Yep.
Tell us what the bird saw.
I speak a little bit of pigeon. Which, did you realize, though, Jared, that's actually kind of a pun? Because I think
I guess it is. Pigeon is a real language. That's true.
Yep. Yeah. Or maybe it wasn't, but it was hilarious.
I don't think they were taking the joke at that level. But probably that is true. That is a good point. It was a funnier, a deeper joke than I think it was even meant to be.
Exactly.
Anyway.
But naturalistic intelligence, I don't think I have a ton of it, to be honest with you. I do like being outside, but I wouldn't call that naturalistic intelligence.
No, I don't have a lot of... No, I don't either. I don't have a lot of awareness of the flora and fauna on that level.
Right. Oh, yeah, me either. Next one for you, Jared. And this is interesting. To add to the list, emotional intelligence. This could be considered as a conjunction.
Let's say, how is this
interpersonal? Well, wait. We'll see. Let's find out. As a conjunction of interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligences, it implies the ability to recognize and manage one's own and other people's emotions, which I will say, I don't think you can manage other people's emotions. But anyways,
but this is maybe... Oh, interesting. So maybe it's the... so interpersonal is your ability to, communicate with other people?
Yes.
Intra is your ability to know your own emotions. And then emotional intelligence is your ability to turn that into managing your emotions with other people and your relationships with other people. Yes. So you might be good at having conversations with people and being really good at being personal, but have no awareness of your own emotions. But there's a skill in itself of being able to match both of those things, of being very good at communicating with people, but either not being, I don't know, codependent or manipulative. It's I'm very good at being manipulative, or I'm very good at being codependent and just having this person know that they can rely on me even if it's unhealthy. Where it's I'm not aware of my own. I gotcha. Okay, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
So let me continue though with emotional intelligence. So what it's composed of, actually, Jared, are 5 essential capacities: emotional self-awareness, emotional self-control, self-motivation, empathy, and social skills. So I think this one is maybe just like a way to look at intelligence in a more broad spectrum, whereas I think the inter and intra is like a little bit more of a granular. Exactly.
Yeah. It's interesting that they'd separate those, though. But I feel like I understand the difference, even though I still find it weird that they would separate them.
Well, it's kind of like that, similar but different. It's kind of like, squares and rectangles.
You can have one, but the other. But then having those two together is a different thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's a whole different skill.
Right. The next one, Jared, is existential intelligence. So this is the ability to locate oneself with respect to the cosmos and the existential features of the human condition, such as the meaning of life and death, the final destination of the physical and psychological world,
this is a tough
and deep experiences like love for another person. I don't have
interesting.
this.
The first place my brain went was religion.
Okay.
And sort of that, how does that relate to existential intelligence? Because we're all, and not, so many of us are convincing ourselves of our own safety via what's coming in the afterlife, what's bigger to come, which is really just us convincing ourselves that the unknown is safe and better than what we're living right now, where it's like, well, you don't really know that.
Right.
It's just almost trying to make yourself feel better.
The existential one's an interesting one. I wonder, too, though, if that
I feel like a lot of
one...
people have had all the ones that we've talked about so far, but this is so far seems like the most difficult one.
Yeah? Well, I think this one's also very philosophical in a lot of ways, too.
Sure. I mean,
you got to find a lot of... Exactly. Yeah. Next up, though, Jared, we have creative intelligence. So this is combining intellect with imagination to create an original idea or product.
Sure.
In fact, although intelligence involves solving problems, it does not always lead to original solutions. People with creative intelligence, on the other hand, think outside the box and often come up with novel solutions. And a group of people, Jared, I think have actually a lot of creative intelligence, but they get overlooked a lot of the time.
Beyonce?
Rednecks.
I see. The ingenuity.
Yes, redneck ingenuity is hilarious, but you got to be really creative and kind of think outside the box sometimes.
So what I did, man, is I rigged up
Exactly.
This is essentially a pulley system, but what I did was I rigged up the entrails of this coon that I found out in my backyard, because if you don't know, there is nothing stronger than the entrails of a healthy raccoon. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Sure, yeah. My first thought when you were reading that was like a musician or something, or like some sort of like artist. Mm-hmm. But that's a great another way to look at it is, you know, making the most out of, like MacGyver-esque. Oh, you don't know who MacGyver is? We've been over this.
I know who MacGyver is.
Oh, I feel like we had this conversation.
Also, that's like a phrase too, to MacGyver something.
That's true. Yeah, he had a lot of that
very
sort of
common
creative
phrase.
Intelligence.
Yeah,
but mixed with. I feel like some of that also gets mixed with some of that like mathy intelligence, even though it's not just straight up math. Part of it is problem solving with what you have and how those things work together. I feel like, but I don't think any of these things, any of these intelligences, should be seen in a vacuum. Like you have just this one.
Oh, they're all very interconnected. Sure. Yeah, that's a great point, Jared. They are very interconnected. Speaking of interconnectedness, Jared, the last type I have for you today is collaborative intelligence. In the organizational and social media environment, this is a mistake in the sentence here. But anyways, in the organizational and social media environment,
not very
has
linguistically intelligent, I see.
Right, has emerged a new type of intelligence that refers to the ability to work as a team to achieve a common goal. Collaborative intelligence implies an orderly deliberation that allows a group of people to create better shared knowledge and make decisions with greater possibilities of overcoming the challenges and difficulties posed by different human activities in an increasingly complex and changing environment. This very special type of intelligence implies being able to work with others, share knowledge and ways of doing things to achieve a common goal. So there you go.
So it's just being the ability to be good at teamwork.
Yep, being a good team player.
How can you tell when it's teamwork versus I or
work?
one person did all all the work.
Well, I guess the way you tell, Jared, is if you actually worked as a team.
Yeah, it's
If
true.
it's just based off of
If
your
you're good
execution.
at teamwork, then you wouldn't be in that situation.
Right. See? So there you
good
go.
point.
Sometimes,
That's a good
Jared, the
point.
answer lies within the question.
Wow, it's so fucking deep, bro.
Right? There's my existential intelligence popping out, maybe. But yeah, Jared, so out of this list, like, what do you think are like your more stronger intelligences? Mine for sure is linguistic intelligence. I think yours as well, really. Like you love to say you're not good at German, but I actually think you deserve more credit than you give yourself.
It's not that I'm not good, but I feel like I feel like if give me a month or two and immersed in a German culture, and I'll have it back. Like, it's there.
Right.
But I feel like right now, if I were like, it's not. It's like it needs to be reactivated. Is all. Like, I'm not.
Sure.
I'm saying I'm bad now, but I'm not saying that can't be rectified if I actually were immersed into it for 3 weeks to a month. So I say I'm bad, but I mean in the moment more than not as a whole.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does take some time. You know, if you get over, like, it takes me usually about a week or two in Germany to kind of bounce back to a really fluent level of speaking where I'm not searching for words as much, you know?
Yeah, and I like words. Like, I do like words, even like English words. I enjoy, like, I legitimately look at the word of the day every day. I feel like I could tell you what it is without even looking at it, and I can't think of it. I mean, I can look at it, but I've definitely seen it today.
Right.
Oh yeah, Juggernaut, which is something extremely large and powerful.
Yep.
So I do enjoy words for sure, and I agree. I like, just because I said I was bad at German right now. I do agree that I think the linguistic thing fits me.
Sure. What about logical mathematical intelligence? I feel like that's one that I lack.
I think I'm good at simple quick maths. One
Quick
plus
maths?
1, yeah.
2 + 2 quick maths.
Yeah, I'm good at that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Like my mom used. Yeah, I'm good at that sort of stuff. But,
Spatial intelligence?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, mine could probably be
I like
better
to think
as
I'm
well.
some sort of peak athlete, but let's be honest.
Right.
If I was, I'd probably be showcasing those talents somewhere.
Right. Body kinesthetic intelligence.
I think I'm pretty good with that. Even though I just said I'm not I wish I was an athlete. I do think I'm pretty.
You're a pretty good athlete.
I do think
Jared.
I'm a pretty good athlete. I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I'm good at.
not too
I
bad.
think I'm also good at picking up, like, sort of sport related stuff.
Well, I think that means you're a good athlete, because if it's just anything active, you can kind of do, right?
Yes, I do think.
Like, you're just baseline decent at a lot of random things.
I think I can pick up a lot of sort of sports stuff pretty easily.
Right. I will say this though.
Although I have
do
a bad
think
shoulder, so I can't do a lot of swinging related stuff.
Okay.
But I guess I could if I had a good shoulder. But my shoulder's shitty.
No
So
tennis
I'm
for
not,
you,
yeah,
bro,
no tennis and
unfortunately.
no baseball.
Right. That's fair.
I got about one good throw and 2 good
You got to be
swings in
careful
me.
with ice hockey too, especially if you get a hard check. That can mess you up.
I could still skate by, pun intended.
Right.
In some pond hockey, you know.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
No one's checking you that hard there.
No, hopefully not. I would say for me, though, Jared, next to linguistic intelligence, I do think I have pretty good musical intelligence, just because, I don't know, there's a lot of times where I'll just be out and about, or like I'll hear a song and be like, oh, I know exactly what that is.
Sure.
A lot of times I could tell you the time signature of the song. Sometimes the key. If I have a guitar in my hand, I can tell you the key.
I mean, you're
Give me
well
1 or 2
trained.
minutes.
And as we talked about, a lot of this, you know, we were talking for a hot sec about like the idea of where these skills come from, and you mentioned that while some of it might be nature, a lot of it probably comes more from nurture and training your brain, and your brain is well trained musically.
And I think the music does work with the linguistics a little bit. Like, I do think there's some like bleed
Sure.
over.
I'm very good at
still hearing.
I'm very good at like memorizing lyrics. What's that? What's that about?
I don't.
Is that
Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. I think there's some special thing about when you put words to a beat and a rhythm and a pitch, it will kind of said that almost sing-songy, didn't I? Beat and a rhythm and a pitch.
It's like slam poetry almost.
Right, exactly. Then
When I say words beat, rhythm, pitch.
They make you remember the words. Yeah. But there is something to that, because I was listening to a playlist the other day in my pickup truck, and it was country music, Jared. But it did, like, I like heard a couple songs I haven't listened to in a long time, and it blew my mind how I knew all the lyrics.
Yeah, I get a lot of that with oldies that my parents used to, blast
Do you
into
remember?
for example, that my parents used to blast into me and my sister's head, and then it's like, and then you're just like some sort of Manchurian Candidate. You're just singing all the words of the song. Like, how do I know this song? Why do I know all the words of this song?
Right.
Where is this coming from?
What is going on? Is reincarnation real, and who was I in my past life?
Am I an Isley brother and I don't know about it? What is happening right now?
I hear just like the Glenn Miller band come on. I'm like, what happened? Was my previous life, was my name Earl? Was I some white guy that grew up in Oklahoma? What's going on here?
So I do think whatever that would fall into, whether it be like music or what, I do think I have a very good memory for music like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Let me ask you this, though, Jared. To kind of wrap up the pod, I have kind of a final question for you. What do you think, are these intelligences or are these talents? Because psychologists actually kind of go back and forth on this. Like, it's not totally agreed upon that there's like obviously just kind of 12 cut and dry types of intelligences. But it does make you wonder, and it does beg to ask the question, are these talents or are these in like just innate abilities?
Could anyone do what Jimi Hendrix did? Did he just play? Did he do that just because he practiced a lot? I mean, I'm sure he did practice a lot, but
he did.
Is that why he, like, could I do what Jimi Hendrix did if I just practiced a lot? And the thing is, doing what that person did, maybe I could do it if I practiced a lot. But there's one thing to do it, but there's the one thing to be like one of the first to do it and like reinvent the game.
And to do it and the way he did it might not work as well for you.
Sure.
Like different people respond differently to different things as well. So you're right, though.
So
like
I
it's hard
I think anyone can get good at something. For the most part, sure. There are obviously various limitations. I'm not saying anyone could be Serena Williams, but anyone can get good at something. But to master it, I think does take some sort of innate abilities that that others don't have.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it too is it depends a lot on your personality, right? Because depending on your personality, it will also, that kind of influences the type of life you live, right? Like if you're a very outgoing person, you probably have a lot of interactions with people. I think that's a fairly safe generalization to make. That if you're outgoing, right, and you get more practice with it, right?
You don't think any of those? Oh, that's another. You didn't mention that when you were talking about the ones that intrapersonal is another one that you relate to hard. Seems like
Yes.
And I think all three of those, inter, and emotional are all ones that I'm not good at. I think between those, I'm probably the best at inter,
yeah, I could see that.
But I don't think I'm good at any of them.
Right.
But I think that is one that I think you're good at all three of those. But especially seems like intra to you. It seems like that's one that you seem to be good at.
I'm trying to improve on my interpersonal skills a little bit more, especially this semester. Now that I'm teaching, I have a broad range of students I'm teaching, like 18 years old to like over 60. So like I had to send an email to one of my students
that requires, I guess, very good interpersonal skills.
Yeah. Well, I had to teach a student of mine how to do a screenshot. So like things that for a lot of people might be quote unquote basic.
How do you do that on
you can't make these
because I
assumptions.
still have a phone with a button. I don't even know how to do that on new iPhones.
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do that on your phone?
No, yeah, I do. It's you hit the volume up button and then like the sleep button.
Okay,
on the side.
Okay.
You push them. I need to have the phone in front of me in order to do it. But I had to explain it on a computer.
Oh, I see.
But then like
do you know how to do it on a Mac?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
What is it?
Of course. It's Command. I gotta look at the keys.
Very good. You're right.
It's Command Shift 4. Well, that's to do a specific size.
Is it 4?
Command Shift 3 is just a screenshot.
I always do 3 and then crop it. Because 4 is
Same,
sort of annoying because
same.
you have to like pinch and zoom it, and that's annoying. All right,
Exactly.
yeah, all right. You know your commands. All right.
Yeah,
Hey,
I love
stand
keyboard
down.
shortcuts.
Oh,
I love
I want you to
keyboard
teach me
shortcuts.
some more.
Okay, we can talk
Yeah,
some more after
please,
the pod.
please.
But that I don't know, that interpersonal one. It can be a tricky one because I feel like people who are very good at interpersonal are actually very well traveled people because you get to see a lot of different types of people and how they react and respond to similar things, but in potentially different ways, right? So then like for example. Like one thing that a friend of mine kind of taught me in China was that if you don't want to do something, you have to kind of say no gently, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas like I have plenty of friends who, like if they don't want to do something, they'll just be like, nope, like, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think to maximize any of these intelligences, Jared, obviously there is a level of probably innate talent or ability, but also, like we mentioned, that consistency in practice and really doing
LeBron
that.
James is one of the best in the world, but he wouldn't still be the best if he didn't practice. Like he would
Exactly.
like he'd still have to he still have to practice on a daily basis or whatever it is he does. Granted, he does show up to games smoking cigars, so who knows? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's probably at the point in his career where he can do that.
I saw that video when he did that, and I'm not a sports person, so I just assumed he wasn't playing that day.
Right.
But then I found out later he was playing that day. I'm like, wow, that's bold. That is bold.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious for sure.
That's kind of old school though, where it's like back in the day where like on halftime they'd be smoking cigarettes like back in the 80s and shit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Or you just play baseball, Jared, and then you just have a dip in the whole game.
That's true. But the dip is different than smoking though. Dip actually
I've
makes
only
sense.
done that
That's sort of
twice.
like a steady drip of
But it makes you feel
nicotine.
drunk, or at least it made me feel drunk the like 2 times I tried it. It was terrible.
But I think if you have some experience with it,
Right.
there are some legitimate cognitive benefits to it.
Right.
But
Makes
I think
you more alert.
But I think I guess my question would be when it comes to smoking, how much are those cognitive benefits relative to the respiratory
damage?
Yeah, damage that's done. So I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's
listen,
hard
he's
to say.
doing fine.
Right. Well, Jared, that's
I'm
'cause
in my
he has
tiny
that
house
great,
asking these questions. I have to go to a job tomorrow.
Right. Well, he's got that body kinesthetic intelligence. That's why, Jared. He knows.
Let me ask you about this because I think you and I should get into this. And I've actually been
Okay.
meaning to ask you about this. I think you'd love this. We should start smoking cigars.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I used to smoke cigars when I was younger. We can smoke
really?
a cigar once in a while. Yeah.
Well, I don't mean like some sort of Philly blunt or something. I mean like quality cigar.
Oh, no. I used to go to a cigar shop
We
by
should
my
do
parents'
it.
house.
You know why I was thinking about this? Because your boy,
Andrew Tate?
yeah, Cobra Tate, he smokes cigars specifically because he says it has testosterone benefits, apparently.
Does it?
Or not, I don't know, benefits, but it provides one with testosterone. And that's part of the reason why he does it. So it
Well,
got
Jared,
me
I
thinking.
tell you what.
I hate that
you
I'm
feel pretty
listening to
fucking
this
manly
idiot.
smoking a cigar. I'll agree with Tate on that.
Yeah, except for when I get lightheaded and be like, I might have to throw
I'm
up.
going to puke.
But I was thinking about that. I was like, I might need to start smoking cigars.
Okay. Dude, how about this? When it's springtime, pretty soon, couple months, well, hopefully a few months, it'll be sunny out. We can smoke a nice stogie on your porch.
Yeah, sit in one of the chairs that blew into the side of my car.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Jared, this has been a fun one. I think we've covered the different types of intelligences out there. I think we figured out ours and also some intelligences we might want to improve a little bit, if that's possible. I'm not sure if that's possible, but who knows?
I think we just talked about the fact that it's possible.
I guess
it just
it
takes,
is, yeah.
It just takes
Some
effort to practice.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I'm practicing my intrapersonal intelligence. I think I'm actively practicing it. For example.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Hopefully. Hey, don't doom me, Chad. I hope there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I hope I can.
I think there is.
Intelligence.
I have faith in you, Jared. And for all those other folks out there, let us know what your type of intelligence you'd like to improve on at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. You can check us out on YouTube and Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. Slide into our DMs on Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number 1. And please let us know how we can make this podcast better for you. So as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, Dziękujemy, muchas gracias, shusha, and do svidania.